Nobody expected the Carolina Panthers to look like this. A team buried in rebuild talks and written off by almost everyone is suddenly making noise that the rest of the league can't ignore. 3 straight wins, above 500 for the first time since 2021, and doing it with a confidence that feels new. The energy in that locker room has shifted. Players are louder, celebrations hit harder, and the mood around this team has changed from doubt to belief. Something is happening in Carolina, and it's catching the league by surprise. The Panthers are no longer trying to prove they belong. They're playing like a team that already knows it does. The offense, once predictable and cautious, now attacks with rhythm and control. Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard keep defenses guessing, while Xavier Legette has gone from overlooked to essential, turning key moments into highlight plays. Every drive feels like a battle of will. It's not perfect football, but it's tough. It's smart, and it's starting to feel sustainable. And at the center of it all stands the quarterback who sets the tone for everything. Bryce Young's growth and leadership have turned this team's potential into reality. But what happens when the one player who defines your rhythm suddenly gets hurt? That's where Carolina's story takes a turn, and it's where we begin to see what this offense is really made of. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Panthers and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 200 likes on this video. Carolina Panthers flipped the feel of their offense in one simple way. They stopped chasing splash plays and started hunting control. Every snap has a purpose now. Motions pull defenders out of position, heavy sets set the edge, and quick play action keeps linebackers glued to the line. It is not flashy, it is suffocating. Drives stretch, clocks drain, and the other sideline gets restless while Carolina keeps stacking first downs. Dave Canales has leaned into the details that win close games. 2 tight end looks with Mitchell Evans and JT Sanders clean up the edges. Tommy Tremble sneaks into soft spots, and the quick game gives the ball out before pressure arrives. The best part is timing. Carolina owned the middle 8 in New York and turned it into 10 points without panic. That sequence told you everything about the plan. Set a tempo, hold it, and make a defense play honest for 4 quarters. But here is the twist. This entire rhythm depends on the person who touches the ball first on every snap. The cadence, the checks, the calm at the line. If that voice changes, the shape of the call sheet changes with it. So, the real question is simple. What happens when the quarterback situation turns uncertain and the huddle looks for a steady hand? The Carolina Panthers face a test that can shake any team. Bryce Young left New York with a right ankle issue, and the word from the building is day-to-day. Reports outside the building hint he could sit for a short stretch. That tension hangs over everything. Bryce is in his 3rd season. He has grown into the voice of the huddle, and players mirror his calm. When that voice goes quiet, everyone feels it. If Andy Dalton steps in, the plan shifts. Dalton is a steady veteran who gets the ball out fast and trusts windows that open for a blink. That helps receivers like Xavier Legette find rhythm, and it can keep the chains moving without asking for long developing plays. It also changes how protections are called and how the run game is paired with quick throws. The goal is the same, stay on schedule. But the way you attack 3rd down, the way you use play action, the way you press the sideline, all of it adjusts to the pilot. Here is what nobody is talking about. The biggest pressure is not on the quarterback. It is on the 5 men in front of him to keep the picture clean while the offense settles into a new cadence. If that group holds its ground, the Panthers can keep their pace no matter who starts. Which leads to the next truth the league is missing. Carolina has juggled its protection all year and still found stability. How are they doing that when most teams fall apart the moment the lineup changes? Carolina Panthers rebuilt their protection on the fly and never flinched. The line has rolled through 6 different starting combinations in 7 games. Yet the pocket picture stays clear enough for the plan to work. That does not happen by accident. It comes from clean communication at the line, smart splits, and linemen who pass off rush games without panic. The group keeps the front quiet, the cadence steady, and the calls simple, which lets the ball come out on time. Versatility is the secret sauce. Austin Corbett has flipped sides when needed. Damian Lewis gets healthy and the interior tightens. Ika Mikwonu sets a wide base on the left, and Taylor Moton anchors the right with veteran calm. Tight ends help seal the edge, backs chip when the look demands it, and receivers finish routes that turn quick throws into first downs. The result is not highlight football. It is winning football, built on details that travel to any stadium. Here's the twist that sets up the next reveal. When a team protects this well through constant change, the defense feels that confidence and plays even faster. If the offense can own tempo with a patched line, what happens when the stars on the other side decide to take over the night? Carolina Panthers turned a muddy game into their kind of fight. The defense took the field like it owned the clock, the field position, and the mood of the night. New York finished with 220 total yards and 12 first downs, and most of that came with heavy resistance. Every drive felt shorter than it should, every throw felt tighter than it looked, and the Jets never found a rhythm that could threaten control. J.C. Horn shut the door when it mattered. He climbed the ladder for a one-handed take in the end zone, then later stole another ball on the sideline that erased hope before it formed. Quarterbacks rarely test him twice, and Sunday showed why. He allowed 3 catches on 6 targets for 41 yards and a 32.6 passer rating when targeted. That is not just coverage, that is tone. It tells the whole huddle they can play fast because the back end is locked. Derek Brown did the rest inside. 7 tackles, constant knockback, and a pocket that kept shrinking snap after snap. Runs that looked clean at the snap turned into sideways steps and dead ends. That kind of interior power changes the math for everyone behind him. And here is where it gets interesting. If one corner is taking the ball away and the anchor is crushing the middle, what happens when the rest of the front starts winning at the same time? Carolina Panthers turned pressure into production at last. The front swarmed New York and finished with 6 sacks, taking a season total from 5 to 11 in one afternoon. Justin Fields held the ball, Tyrod Taylor stepped into waves, and the pocket kept shrinking. It felt like a dam breaking. Not pretty, just relentless. The exact kind of surge that flips field position and mood. Credit the crew that kept winning their matchups. Nick Scorton closed with power and angles for 1.5 sacks. Princely Umanmielen knifed inside for a clean half. Ashawn Robinson collapsed edges and forced hurried throws. Ejiro Evero mixed 4-man rushes with timely heat, and the group passed off games like they had played together for years. That is how a plan becomes a habit. Now the ripple moves forward. A defense that finishes drives hands extra chances to an offense that wants to lean on the ground. Buffalo's weak spot is no secret. The Bills sit near the bottom in run defense and have been last in yards per rush allowed in recent weeks. If Carolina keeps teeing off on defense and then pounds the ball on offense, the next chapter could surprise people. So, what does that ground plan look like when the stakes rise again? Carolina Panthers now face a matchup that can define how serious their rise really is. The Buffalo Bills arrive with playoff weight and a defense built on speed, yet their biggest flaw is sitting right in the open. They cannot stop the run. Opponents are averaging more than 4.5 yards per carry against them, and red zone stops have vanished. It is the one weakness that fits perfectly into Carolina's current strength. The Panthers rank near the top of the league in rushing efficiency. Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard give them 2 different gears, and the blocking angles from Dave Canales' scheme keep linebackers guessing. It is not about big gains. It is about steady punches that wear a front out. The more they hand it off, the more play action opens for Andy Dalton if he starts, or for Bryce Young when he returns. The Bills' defensive tackles have struggled to anchor late in games, and Carolina's physical line knows that. But this game is bigger than stats. It is a chance to prove the new identity travels against real competition. A 4th straight win would erase years of doubt and send a message that this is no short streak. The question is simple, yet massive. Can Carolina's balance hold when the lights hit brighter and Buffalo answers with its own firepower? The result will tell us if this team is only hot or truly ready. Carolina Panthers look and feel different now. The city can sense it. A team that once searched for answers now plays with purpose, patience, and belief. 3 straight wins have turned quiet hope into real momentum, and the standard inside that locker room has moved from survive to control the game. This is a blueprint built on trust in the run, smart throws, and a defense that closes the door when the clock matters most. What makes this surge powerful is how many voices shape it. Veterans set the tone, young playmakers add juice, and the staff leans into what travels in tough spots. The plan is simple to understand and tough to stop. Stack physical snaps, win the middle stretch of each half, and let stars on defense tilt the field. That is the identity fans waited to see. It is not a trend. It is a foundation. Now it is your turn. Should Carolina keep the ball on the ground until Buffalo proves it can stop it? If Bryce Young sits, how confident are you in Andy Dalton to keep the rhythm? Which player impressed you the most in this run? Drop your take in the comments, hit like if you feel the shift in Charlotte, and subscribe so you do not miss the full game plan breakdown later this week. Keep the conversation rolling and tell me what you want charted next.